With this blizzard on top of the heavy Boxing Day fall, there were now drifts of 15 and 20 feet.
1963, one of the worst winters in living memory. Much of the Midlands, much of the country ground to a halt, gridlocked by a blanket of snow and ice, and it went on for weeks.
I remember my father having to put chains on the car tyres for my mother, who was a doctor. And over all my years on Midlands Today, we've covered so many stories of extreme weather in this region.
It may look beautiful, but with the snow come tales of drama, heroism, and above all of communities pulling together to battle the elements. In Shropshire in the 80s, villagers walked for miles to help each other.
Fortunately, there's great community spirit, and you know, everybody helps everybody else.
In the Staffordshire moorlands, farmers were nicknamed road angels. They were the only people who could dig their stranded neighbours out of trouble.
If I go past a place where I know there's an old person lives there, if there's no footprints about, you know there's something wrong.
They had to help. There was no chance of help from outside. So just how cold did it get?
Well, Kay, over the last few years there's been quite a bit of variation with our temperatures during the winter months. In fact, the Midlands holds the record for the lowest temperature in England, dropping to a bone-chilling minus 26.1 Celsius in Newport, Shropshire, back in January 1982.
And remember the big freeze of 2004. But that wasn't the only time heavy snow brought the Midlands to a complete standstill.
Well, snow in winter, but in summer we seem to get flooding. And at times it seemed absolutely relentless, hasn't it? The Severn, the Wye, the Avon, they've burst their banks and they've engulfed homes and businesses. Waterfront buildings along here have certainly had more than their fair share of misery.
The Swan Hotel in Upton. Ralph Thompson, the landlord, took over after the floods of 2007.
There was nothing here at all.
Absolutely nothing.
No, there was no bar, no furniture, no floor. It was just bare concrete floor and no paint on the walls or anything like that.
Around the Midlands, fields turned into lakes, roads into rivers, threatening lives and livelihoods. So is the weather really getting worse?
Got one person with special needs that needs to be evacuated.
I think what we're seeing is quite a lot of intense rainfall events that are pushing the rivers up very quickly, and it certainly feels like we've had quite a number of those over the last 10 or 15 years. The impacts that have depend on, you know, where you are. For places like this in Upton now, the new defences have made an enormous difference, and you know, I think to the way the town operates, it's absolutely fantastic.
Well, with phones, tablets, social media, weather webcams, radio, television, there's no reason for us not to be across the weather. But whatever this year brings for you, I hope you stay warm, dry and safe.